you prepare as thoroughly as you can. The guys play their asses off.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice.
That you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. If they are who we thought they were, when we let them off the hook.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull Ranch, brought to you by minnesotavikings. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment. If you are subscribed and you leave a comment, you'll be entered to win a Justin Jefferson autographed jersey when I hit 3,000 subscribers. Now, let's talk about my 53-man roster, who I think is going to make the team coming out of camp. I keep in mind IR positions, are not going to be counted, so they'll, like a TJ Hawkinson and everything. But I actually went a run through, just picking players as each position, and after I was done, 53 exactly. 25 offense, 25 defense, 3 specialists. Didn't even plan it. I thought I was going to have to add, subtract, but it seemed more clear cut to me than ever in previous years. Less worry. I might have had, defensive line, offensive line, a little bit of a struggle, but I felt like the other positions were pretty cut and dry. Maybe a little issue with linebacker, but I'm feeling good about this list. You tell me what you think. And again, if there's any recent injuries in practice that I missed, let me have it in the comments. But I'd love to hear what you got to say, who you think I should be on, shouldn't be off, who I'm missing. Maybe some talk about the practice squad. But let's dig in. Obviously, quarterback is not what we wanted to happen this year, but it is Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, and Jaren Hall. I don't get why people think you'd put Jaren Hall in the practice squad and only have 2 quarterbacks. It's just not going to happen. Kevin O'Connell's not going to risk somebody taking our quarterback, considering we went through 4 last year. So there's going to be 53. There's going to be 3 on the 53 for sure. And I believe Jaren Hall is going to be starting this next game. Matt Corral, might be a practice squad guy. Let's see. I was really high on Matt Corral when he came out. I thought he was prepared, but apparently he has some emotional character issues that he came into the season. I think Skoldoc talked to me about that recently. But Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, Jaren Hall, Matt Corral might try to save his career with this last game. Now, running back, it's a tough one. It was a tough one. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Kenny Nwangu, CJ Ham. Now, these guys weren't tough, but leaving Gaskins off this list was tough. I think he's a lock, obviously, to be on the practice squad, and he might got a couple other running backs to make the team. But there's going to be a big competition for making the practice squad, or Vikings continuing to want players with those last few running backs. But Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Kenny Nwangu, CJ Ham are a lock. Myles Gaskins, if we did keep 5, it would be him. It'd be him. Now, tight end, I think we keep 4 tight ends. We've done it in the past. At least why TJ Hawkins is out, and Josh Oliver, Johnny Munt, Nick Muse, and Robert Tonyan. They actually put Robert Tonyan as the number 1 guy on when they released the depth chart. So this seems, but I've heard things that he did that in the OTAs. He played really well in the OTAs, but apparently in training camp hasn't. So, but I don't know. But Josh Oliver, Johnny Munt, Nick Muse, Robert Tonyan. Tonyan is probably the tough one to judge, and I put N'Keal Harry on the practice squad. Now, wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, Brandon Powell, and Tristan Jackson. I think that's our list right there. I did put Trent Sheffield and Jashwan Jones on the practice squad. But yeah, these are a lock. If we did keep 6, it'd probably be Sheffield. I wouldn't mind that, but it's tough cuts, man. Tough cuts. That's a very good wide receiver core, and the way Jalen Naylor's been playing, practice, and in games. Not to mention Tristan Jackson stealing the show a couple of times now. Offensive line, very hard. Don't know enough, so I'm maybe spitballing the last cup, one of these, and I'll give you my reason. Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, Garrett Bradbury, Blake Brandel, Ed Ingram, David Quisenberry. Ed Ingram's trying to lose this job, And, Walter Rouse, Dan Feeney are a little shaky in my book. I wasn't sure in Dalton Reisner. So now I feel good about David Quisenberry, obviously. I'm a big fan of his, and I would assume Dalton Reisner. Um, Now, Walter Rouse, I chose Dan Feeney because he has center experience and we need a backup center. That's the reason why I got him on this list. Walter Rouse, because the way position he was playing in preseason. Um, Tyrese Robinson, I think I was in that mix, but yeah, Walter Rouse, Dan Feeney, center experience. That's why I put him there. Now, well, let's talk about this. Darrisaw O'Neal, Bradbury, Brandel not playing, Ed Ingram playing. So he's the one that's on the hot seat. If you see him, if you see him playing in game 3, he may not make the starting roster. That's the way I'm looking at it. You have the only starter out there in week 3. Yeah. Yeah, he may be up for grabs there. We'll see though. Then you got defensive line. This is as hard as anyone, but Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Bullard, Jerry Tillery, Levi Drake, Rodriguez. The big standout in this list for me is Levi Drake Rodriguez. He looks like the real deal, guys. He looks like the real deal. I'm 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 rooting for him. He might be one of my favorite players right now. And they had him mic'd up. Funny dude, quirky dude. We always got that one guy. It's Levi Drake Hernandez or Rodriguez. Sorry, Levi Drake Rodriguez. I always like Jaquelin Roy. I'm a big. I was a big supporter of him. Still ghosted me. Talked about coming on my show, but he ghosted me. Sorry, Jaquelin. Got to keep saying it until you come on my show. Jonah Williams. Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Bullard, Jerry Tillery, Levi Drake Rodriguez, and Jaquelin Roy. I think we're going to see a lot of Rodriguez this year. And one of the things is putting him on, giving him a hot mic. That means you think a lot of him, and he's going to be sticking around. So that one's a lock. Outside linebacker, another tough group to choose. But I think we want to protect young talent with this group, and that's why I got Jonathan Greenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner are locks, but Pat Jones is second lock. Just looking for experience. Now I think they want to protect a guy like Bo Richter and Gabriel Murphy. I think they think a lot of them. That'd be awesome. Means we got undrafted free agents making the team again. Now, Andre Carter, I have making the practice squad. I still think he's a project, but I don't think anybody will pick him up. But I think I'll put him there. I'll put him there. Now, the guy that stand out the most so far is probably that Bo Richter, jumping into making the 53. So that's a good story. Really good story there. Now, linebacker, off ball linebacker, Ivan Pace Jr. Missed a comma there. Blake Cashman, obvious locks. Don't know much about Camus, Gruger Hill, but Brian Asamoah the second. This is not a deep group. Stay healthy, Ivan Pace Jr., Blake Cashman. And that's why we're keeping 5 safeties. And yes, Harrison Smith, Cameron Bynum, Josh Metellus, Theo Jackson. Theo Jackson hasn't been playing, so it looks like he's got a slot locked up. Lewis Seen I keep this guy. He said something that really resonates with me. They asked him, "Do you expect to play this way?" Yes, when healthy, and he's healthy, and he doesn't have to think as much, and everything. He played with reckless abandon. The guy finally stacked bodies. When you lead the team in tackles, even in a preseason game, by far, like, and he was all over the field and all over the field in special teams. I put him on the team. He's still young. It's his third year. I don't let this guy go for pennies. I keep him and see what I got. We're gonna lose Harrison Smith soon. That's the kind of position he plays. Cameron Bynum, Josh Metellus are near, a little further in their contracts now. We're gonna need guys, good players, and Lewis Seen has speed and people say he can't handle the defense. The reason we drafted him because he had football intelligence and he throws his body around, and now he's healthy and he threw his body around. Let's see this third week plays good again. He'll be a lock for and then we got more depth at this position than inside linebacker, so that we'll go with safety in that position. Now, cornerbacks: Stephon Gilmore, Byron Murphy Jr., Shaq Griffin, missing commas, sorry, Caleb Evans, and Dwight McGlothern. I think this is the cornerback group. I think this is the cornerback group. We go with a lot of safeties, got a nickel, big nickel, things like that. I go with the talent. I don't just pick a corner because he's a corner. Now, there's some guys on here that are left off the list because they're injured. Those guys are all practice squad guys. I'm talking about the whole team here. If they're not on this list or they're injured, they're either practice squad or they'll come back and be slotted back into a starting position. And this list will change, but I have never done a 53 man where I didn't have to cut some players and try to figure out where to go. This list was a lot easier than I've ever had to do. And Stephon Gilmore, Byron Murphy Jr., Shaq Griffin, Caleb Evans, Dwight McGlothern. The guy that's standing out the most probably is Dwight McGlothern making this team. Another undrafted free agent. That makes 3 that made the team. And then we had a 7th round pick make the team. That shows you Kwesi and the scouting staff and Kwesi really looking at players of value down low and looking for talent, looking for athleticism, putting it on this team, finding diamonds in the rough. He's been doing a great job of that. Ivan Pace Jr. Started that trend. Now, and then the specialist, Will Reichard, who I think is going to be our kicker for a long time. We found one, fellas and ladies. We found one finally. Ryan Wright won the job. Andrew DePaula. And, Ryan Wright's been the holder of the whole preseason and practices. So, no shock there. And we may have, keep a punter on a practice squad just in case. But that's the group right there. Now, tell me what you think. Guys that, we got guys that really stood out, and made this team. Levi Drake Rodriguez, and then you got guys that I think make the team just because of potential, and that's Bo Rector, Gabriel Murphy. Who knows? Maybe Gabriel Murphy might be sidelined. We'll see. Lewis Seen announced his presence with authority this last game. I think I saved his career. And then Dwight McGlothern. That's great. Now, guys that also stood out was like a Kenny Nwangu, who showed he can play. Let me think. Jalen Naylor, Tristan Jackson. My God, those guys stood out. Some guys really won us over this preseason. Some of you think who shouldn't be on this team, who should have made the team. Put it in the comments. If you're subscribed, you'll win potentially win an autographed jersey. Yeah, once they hit 3,000, Justin Jefferson autographed jersey and Skull Vikes. And you know what? Why not? Cue the music.
You prepare as thoroughly as you can. The guys play their asses off.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
That you probably won't say it again.
I bet I do.
Okay.
Chris?
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. If they are who we thought they were, when we let them off the hook.